We want to hold a small interview here on matters organizational leadership. In a few months, previous few months, the national, or rather NCIC, has been holding meetings to have a conversation about the conflict between the older and even the younger generation. And that is called intergenerational conflict. And that has also, maybe I have no idea, but going back to the organizations where you work from, is there a conflict between the old and even the young people working right where you are? Now, to help me discuss that matter is Evelyn Koki, organizational development and leadership expert. She's also executive coach and also an author. Now, Evelyn Koki, thank you so much for making time for Kenya Broadcasting Corporation.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
The question I asked,
yes,
is there conflict between the older and the younger generation where we work?
Yes.
In organizations?
Yes, absolutely. There is a serious conflict between these two generations because of where each is coming from. Each existed in a different reality, and it's something we've ignored for a while now, and we are reaping the results right now. Our older generation care about loyalty, care about institutional growth. The new generation I've seen, they don't care about corporate ladders anymore. They don't believe a corporate ladder exists. They have seen situations where someone's career just skyrockets. And so for you to come and give them rules of engagement that are not in their current reality, it's not going to work. And so we need to have those conversations. We need to bring them on the table and say, you know, this is your reality, this is our reality. We're not saying one is better than the other. We're just explaining the rationale behind the choices we made as an older generation to say, I am going to stick in one company for the rest of my life. And understand where they're coming from, where they don't care about houses. Most of them want to just travel the world and work from remotely. Understand where they're coming from. For them, loyalty and stability, it's not about being in one place all the time. It's about having the freedom to travel, to experience life, to socialize. And so understanding these two diverse realities will bring us to the table and have a conversation where we can all agree and move forward on how to grow as leaders and as organizations. In that case, somebody needs to change. Either the organization changes how it works, or the old generation changes how it works, or the younger generation adapts to how things have been in the previous years. Yes. Who changes? That's a very good question. We've written a book called Navigating Change. And in this book, we've articulated the why behind every change. Before we get them to change and before we change ourselves, we have to understand what change is all about. Change is not physical. Most of the time we think, I can tell you, change this, change your tie, and you just change your tie. But there's something about blue that, you know, brings you, or you feel it brings out the color of your eyes or something. There's a reason you chose blue, or there's a reason you choose blue. So understanding why some of these changes, why we do what we do, helps the change become easier. Now, for who changes first and who adapts, it's a very complex conversation. Someone has to change. Someone has to change, or each has to give. Or the rules have to change. We can redefine the new normal. Yeah. And I think that's where we are. We are in a bridge where we all have to forget how things have, not forget really, get the lessons from how things have worked in the past, be very clear on our reality, which is things are different. The old way is not working. We don't know what's a new way is working. We are in a neutral zone where we both can collaborate and create a new normal that accommodates all generations in an organization. In the previous years, yes, our bosses used to send memos printed on hard paper. Yes. And then it moved to emails. And then it's emails no more. Yes. It's WhatsApp. Yeah. And I like how the ruling by the High Court the other day ruled that WhatsApp can be used to hold official meetings. Mm-hmm. Mm. And in fact, it ruled that a lady who was, removed from a WhatsApp group, that that was some sort of discrimination, some sort of, they went out of their way to discriminate against this lady. Yes. Because that platform, WhatsApp platform, is an official platform for the organization. Yes. Things have changed to that level. Yeah.
And that's where I think the organizations have been, been forced to change, and even the older generation has been forced to change.
Yes.
And now they are communicating to us via WhatsApp. This is a good thing, right?
Yes, it is. And just to go back to that story of that lady, people forget that being discriminated against, it's psychological torture. It's painful to your brain because you feel like you've been excluded. It's literally like being excluded physically, because we all love a sense of belonging. So when you take that away from someone, you create an emotional torture. And yes, I agree with that ruling from a psychological point of view. And yes, now things have changed. We have WhatsApp, yes, like you're saying, now it's an official channel of communication. You excluding me from that, you are communicating that I'm no longer needed in this organization. Or yeah, it's a form of discrimination, and I'm agreeing with the ruling of the High Court.
There's something interesting you said about the Gen Zs, or the younger generation, about they really do not care about who is the boss and who is not. They care about, delivery.
Yes.
How do I do my work, and how do I deliver on an assignment? But do you think the older generation is buying that idea? Because, for lack of a better word, there's some bosses who wants to remain bosses, and you understand what I'm saying. And sometimes they find a conflict arises where they think maybe these young Gen Zs are some sort of being disrespectful. Yeah. Have you found something like that in your area? Yes,
all the time, and it's because we love judging as human. It's very easy to look at you and say and judge you on a behavior or something you're doing. It's very hard for me to try and understand where you're coming from. If we could all just ask why. Why are the Gen Zs behaving the way they are? They will explain why they're doing that, and we will understand. It has nothing to do with disloyalty or disrespect. It's what for them performance means. For them, performance is delivering on, like you've said, delivering on the deliverables I have. It shouldn't matter if I'm here at 8 and I leave at 5. As long as I can work overnight and deliver, that should be enough for you. And now when you, from your past experiences, because you've been conditioned to come to work 8 to 5, and we're not saying that's bad, that is your reality. But for them, it's totally different. So how do we reconcile these two without having been open enough and vulnerable to share our experiences and to have a discussion and to understand where each is coming from and forget about what has worked and how things have been done in the past and agree this is our reality right now. And if we don't do that, we're going to lose one generation, and then who is going to take after us? Yeah.
I also understand, because I've worked with young people.
Yes.
Not saying I'm old. Yeah. But the young people, like younger than me, they want to come to work not for very many hours, but past 3, past 4,
they're done.
These people, they're done. Yeah. They want to go home. And the bosses are like, what? Yeah. It's not yet even 5. Yes. Where are you going? There's something called flex. Yes. In terms of how organizations work. Yes. The others will come in the evening, the others will come in the morning, yes. Others will maybe choose to work at night. It doesn't matter what time you work. Yes. But organizations, I think, in Kenya, apart from maybe a very few in the private sector, yes. They've not been able to buy into this flexing idea. Do you think it's at that time?
It's about time, because we're all different personalities. I am a night person. I may not work in the morning, but give me some work, I'll go past midnight and I'll deliver it. Now, you're forcing me to come to work at 8 or 7, and when I know I'm not very productive, but I know I can be productive at night and deliver on what you need. I think it's about time we agreed we need to bring the personality bit at work. We need to have an alignment of personality and job description so that everyone feels like they're in the right place and they're able to deliver according to who they are. We are not the same. And forcing us to fit in a mold, everyone to fit in a specific mold, has been our greatest undoing. And I love us ask you a question. I've worked in an organization, and I am sure I was not productive 8 to 5. Yeah. There were many hours in between. I was busy on Facebook and social media. It's just that the Gen Zs now don't know how to pretend. They're telling us to our faces. Yes, they're telling us to our faces. There's no point of me sitting here pretending to work. Yeah. Well, I'm not. I can go and do something else, and then if I am able to work at night, go at night and do whatever you needed me to do, and still be able to deliver on what you wanted to deliver. Yeah. Yes.
Koki, unfortunately, time is not on our side. Maybe 10 seconds, your last words about what you've found, what you've discovered about organization, especially in Kenya.
One of the main thing as organizational development consultant and leadership consultant is I've realized we only get results in the level of how we've worked on ourselves. Let me explain. Like, you understand yourself to the extent that where you know, this is how I work, this is how best I deliver, these are the people I need around me to cover my weaknesses and reinforce my strengths. And when you have that self-awareness, you bring it to your team.
Yeah.
And if you do that, this problem we're having of intergeneration will not exist, because I've understood myself. I'll be willing to understand you and extend the same courtesy of saying, let me hear who you are. Let me see how and where we can fix you for you to be productive optimally. Yes, and be able to deliver.
Evelyn Koki, organizational development and leadership consultant, also executive coach and author. Thank you so much for making time for us.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
Pleasure.